Tubies, doing? What's going on? Do you guys have anxiety? Like, do you suffer from anxiety? Being diagnosed with anxiety disorder? There's 7 different types of anxiety disorders. Yeah, pretty sure that like almost everybody has one. Yeah. So I thought, it's something that got brought up on Facebook by a really cool chick that I know on there, and I would say her name, but I'm not quite sure if she'd be cool with it or not. I might add it on later on. And she's like, yeah, do it. Just air all my dirt out there. Fuck it. Why not? But she knows who I'm talking about. And she kind of motivated me to do this video. And, I'm flat out, I have anxiety. I'll be the first one to say it. Not so much doing certain things as I used to, like videos, getting ready to do a video. Oh, man. Heart gets pumping, you get that heart palpitations, and then your, sweaty palms, public speaking class. Oh man, the worst. You just feel it yourself. You feel like you just got this cold sweat, you got shiny beads on your forehead, and they're dripping down, and really there's nothing going on, but you feel that way. And then you feel like everybody's, it's like being high. Oh my God, everybody knows I'm high. Holy crap. But nobody really knows. Just using it as an example. But yeah. So anxiety, it's something that, and it's also related a lot to stress and how you handle anxiety, and whether it's in your everyday life or certain situations that come up that trigger it. It really does have an effect on the way you handle things, the way you approach things, the way you possibly even take a chance of doing things because you have anxiety and it might scare you, or it might have been a bad experience beforehand, so therefore you get so worried, and and usually it comes out to where you end up doing it and then you're fine. Once you get in the groove, you're good. But until that moment, man, it can really affect you. You can have such anxiety, social anxiety for one, to the point where you're so excited. Yeah, I need to get out with my girls, or my boys, gotta hang with my boys, whatever it is. And the time comes up and you're like, yes, I'll do it. Yep, Thursday, 4 o'clock, I'll be there. I'm there. Count me in. And Wednesday, midnight comes around. You're like, oh my God. Oh man. Can I do this? Can I really do this? Am I ready? I don't know. I got a lot going on in my life. And you start thinking, and then you start overthinking. You start dwelling, and then you start stressing yourself out. And then you feel uncomfortable, and you start second guessing yourself. And then you cancel plans. And it's good every once in a while. Cancel plans. Shit happens, and it's okay. Some people are more understanding than others, but most time, if you suffer from anxiety pretty often, then you get to the point where people start to not count on you, and it can put a fog of bad impression upon you, and you know that inside, you're like, man, I'm such a piece of shit. You might not say that. That's pretty intense, but you do. I'm a piece of shit. Oh my God, I canceled plans I shouldn't have, and then you have regrets, and then you stress yourself out even more, causing yourself more anxiety. So it's a ruthless cycle. Whether it's OCD, generalized anxiety disorder, PTSD, because you had a traumatic experience in your life, and you're just never the same. And agoraphobic. There are people who are agoraphobic and not even know it. Wide open spaces. You go in public and you're in the crowd and you're like, holy crap. And you feel super, uber vulnerable, and you don't quite know how to handle yourself. Now, discipline, meditation, really recognizing that you have that issue, so to speak, can really help you be able to cope with it and deal with it. But it's not always that easy. And, not everybody has that strength. We're all brought up from different backgrounds. We're born and live in different situations. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how you were made, anything. How you were made, test tube or people or whatever. It really doesn't matter, because in the end, you're human. And how you process things all depends on what you're exposed to, the information you've collected, things that you've seen, things that you've experienced, lessons you've learned, perceptions that you perceive things as, the way you interpret them, the way you apply things. Everything has an effect on how you deal with anxiety, or if you even have it. Who knows? You can just have fuck it syndrome and it doesn't matter to you. Just depends. But so with herbs, now, anxiety is great because there are drugs out there. Go to the doc, dude, can't do this. Get stressed out even driving down the highway. Hell, I get stressed out riding in the car with my husband. It drives me crazy. And he's like, God, oh my God, because I'll go, I have my own vision of driving in the car while he's driving, and I can't help but have my reactions, and it kind of scares him because he is generally protective and concerned on my reaction. Like, oh man, and it puts him in alert mode. Well, as a man, kind of pisses you off because you're in alert mode. Oh my God, protected, swords come out, and then you realize your wife's just freaking out about nothing because because she's just fucking freaking out for no reason. So it kind of can get you. And you end up going to the doctor, and you tell the doctor, hey doc, need some drugs. And it's all great. It's all good. But what if you can't afford those drugs? What if you don't like the side effects? What if it turns you into somebody you're not? And my personal experiences, and the reason why I've always liked herbs in general and like to teach others about it, is because it's natural. It's yes, it has effects on your body, but it does teach your body to cope and to train itself. It's like training a dog or conditioning yourself to where it learns how to do it by itself. You don't have some foreign object doing it for you, or a machine. Prescription drug is like a machine, and it does it for you. And which in turn makes your body lazy, so it no longer feels like, oh, I got this machine doing it, I ain't gonna do it anymore. And it's all good. But that sucks because your body it's like a circle where everything works together a lot like an herb. You can't just take one part. It takes several parts, even down to the tiniest bolt, to the tiniest nut, screw, whatever it is, but you need all those pieces. And if you're missing a piece, or you don't have a piece at all, it's not going to work right. Yeah, it might still work, but it's just not going to be the same as it would if it were 100% complete. So in that, a lot of people don't want to do prescription drugs. And that's another thing. You're on them forever. And when you get off of them, the withdrawal symptoms suck. I don't know how many of you out there have been on a prescription drug and you get off of them because it's your choice, or it's time to switch to another one. But withdrawing from anything, period, doesn't matter, sucks. It's hard. It screws up your life. It can actually change you and affect you. Some people are more sensitive than others, and it can change you forever because you're scared of what something is going to do with you, or do to you after you get off of whatever it is you get off of. Does that make sense? I'm drifting. She's drifting. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, totally doing me. Focus. So there are several different herbs out there that do treat anxiety, and they are very, very wonderful. Now I'm not going to go down a complete list. It would take kind of a long time, and it would really bore a lot of people, and I really want to give you some good, valid information. So these are my choices. First and foremost would be chamomile. Back up real quick. When it comes to taking herbs, a lot of the times it's very unappealing to people because they just, aren't educated enough to understand the different ways of administering it for yourself. And, like tea. Where I go into chamomile. Certain herbs are better in different forms. Some are better in tincture form. Some are better than in tea form. Some are better in capsule form. It really just depends. Some, hell, you can eat. It's great. Dandelion leaves. Yummy. But it really depends. And if you're not a tea drinker, at all, you're not going to drink 3 to 4 cups of tea every single day just to get an effect on something. You're going to go, fuck it, I'll just deal with the anxiety. So take the information that I give you and apply it to however it fits best in your life, because after all, it is your life. It is your body. It's your decision on what you decide on how you want to deal with it and cope with it. So these are merely my suggestions, and take it or leave it, period, or keep suffering. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But chamomile is an amazing herb. Smells great, tastes great. It makes a very good tea. It's very easy to make, very easy to find, very easy to grow. When it comes to a tea, if you are going to use herbs in a tea form for anxiety, you do need to drink at least 3 to 4 cups a day. To make a proper tea, you do need to allow it to steep, which means allow the tea bag or the herb to sit in the water and soak for at least a good solid 10-15 minutes, just in order for it to take all those medicinal properties and oils out of it and put it into, it's like marinating. Got to marinate the herbs and then you drink it. But it does really good. So if that's your thing, tea's your thing, have at it and go for it. But chamomile is very good. It will help you relax. It is probably considered the most mild herb when it comes to treating anxiety. Now, if you got on a regimen to where you were drinking 3 to 4 cups a day, every single day, after about a week, it would not take as much to help you feel relaxed. But as far as effectiveness and quickness, not so much if it's a severe case of anxiety. If you had a bad day, your nerves kind of, yeah, and you just need to relax a little bit, chamomile tea is the way to go. And hell, if it's after dinner, add a little bit of peppermint in there, and it makes a great digestive aid. Helps you have no gas. And, makes dinner settle a little bit better. So if you're, come from a Sicilian family like I do, and grandma, here, eat this, and puts a big ass pile of spaghetti on your plate, and you got all those carbs, oh my god, and 4 pieces of garlic bread, and you feel so full, or Thanksgiving, and you unbutton your pants, and you're like, oh, it was so good, but you shouldn't have eaten that much. Chamomile peppermint tea is amazing. So try it out. Next, I would have to go with passionflower, a beautiful flower. Absolutely beautiful flower. It's so exotic looking, and it really is another one that is great for anxiety. Now, something that you can actually use passionflower in a tea, mix it in with chamomile if you want. You can also do it in tincture form or capsule form. Passionflower is also not very potent. It does work. It is very effective, but it does cause drowsiness. It does have high sedative properties. And, if it's something that doesn't bother you and you do it to go to sleep, then cool. Have at it. You want to go night-night? Go night-night. But, if it's something where you have anxiety because you have a public speaking class at the university you got to go to, and you're making a really big speech, and it's 90% of your grade, and it's huge. It's huge. My Donald Trump impression. It's so stupid. You don't want something that's going to make you tired, because you're not going to be able to focus. You're going to want to relax, and you're going to be unmotivated. So keep that in mind when it comes to choosing certain herbs to treat anxiety. Next, I would have to also go with, what was my next one? Oh, valerian root. Whew! Shoo-wee! Valerian root. That stuff is stinky. Now, granted, I have met people, and I have gotten a shipment or 2 in before, where I don't mind the smell of it. It's very, very earthy. But never been exposed to it before, and you take a big old whiff of it, oh my goddess, it smells like dirty, stinky feet. It just depends. But it is a very, very effective herb in calming you. It will make you go night-night real quick if you want to. It will help relax you. It does have a very bitter taste if you do take it in a tea. In a tincture form is actually much better in a lot of ways because it makes it very quickly effective. But like I said, it stinks. And usually when something stinks, you don't want to put it in your mouth. So you can buy or purchase, however you want to put it, empty capsules. Now, if you do get empty capsules to put it in, keep in mind they do dissolve quickly. So you do not want to fill the capsules until you are going to take it right then. Fill the capsules, put them together, take the capsule, drink whatever it is, and done. You don't have to taste it. You might smell it a tiny bit when you transfer it from the bottle to the capsule, but no harm done. And actually, you get the effect that you need. It takes about 15-20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, and you'll feel relaxed, and you'll be ready to either just chill, depending on how much you take, or you'll want to go to sleep, and then you'll relax and you'll be good. Now, a warning that does come with valerian root is it does not mix well with barbiturates. So if you are on any, wow, any sort of medication that is a barbiturate, or you drink alcohol, I highly recommend you do not mix the two. It does do damage to your liver. Makes your liver work twice as hard, and you only get one liver, unless you're lucky enough to have somebody, with an extra one on their back deck in their beer cooler, but that's highly unlikely with the same blood type stuff. Just doesn't work that way. But don't mix alcohol and valerian root. And also, be careful too that chamomile, not so worried about, makes you tired. Worst case scenario, it's like you stayed up all night and you're just kind of tired the next day. Passionflower, same difference, a little heavier in the sedative properties, but still, you can push through it if need be. Valerian root, when you do take valerian root, and I'm talking in tincture form, if it's in a tea blend, yes, it's still going to make you tired really quick and pretty heavily, but it's not as intense and potent as taken in a tincture. So if you do decide to take it in tincture form, make sure you do it to where you know that you don't have to go do anything. Operate heavy machinery, get in the car and drive, have to conduct a class, anything that you really need your full focus. It's kind of like smoking a doob the first time. You really don't want to have to do anything or have to focus on anything because A, you don't know how you're going to react or feel. B, you just don't know. You don't want to put yourself in a circumstance where you're going to be unsafe, cause any harm, or jeopardize your future. So, we're just like, man, this sounds really awesome. I'm going to mix it all up. Now, no, don't do that, but be responsible when consuming valerian root. Also, there are, and I know some people will get this, some people may not, if you've never had this experience before, but certain medicines and medicinal properties of drugs or herbs have different effects on people. Myself, from personal experience, like morphine, doesn't do shit for me at all. After 2 surgeries, after having a little guy, and in the most absolute intense pain ever in my life, and I have like stupid pain tolerance. Push that button all day long, nothing. Now other people, they push it halfway and they're fucked up. It's kind of hilarious, but it's true. Different drugs and different chemical properties have different effects on different people. So keep that in mind. And the reason why I say that is I have known and seen people that consume valerian root in the same exact dosage, same exact form, tincture form, to relax them, and it has the absolute opposite effect. And it can also have that same effect, even if it doesn't have that reverse effect on you, if you consume too much, to where the opposite effect of where you're wired. Not like I drank a case of Red Bull wired, but you're wired and you cannot go to sleep, and therefore get your mind going. You can't relax. It exhausts your body and puts your body in overdrive, and that's not smart because that's completely opposite of what you wanted to do in the first place. And then it's going to lead to you to have more anxiety the next day because you stayed up too late, because you got wired off of valerian root, smells like stinky feet, and you don't get shit done the next day, and you're on a deadline. Oh my God, stress, right? But yeah, keep it in mind. Now, my before I get to number one, my favorite. But another very popular herb that is out there, and the only reason why I'm mentioning it is because it is very popular, is Kava. It is another great herb that does treat anxiety very well. It does contain sedative properties, not as much as passionflower, not as much, well, and I can't even say chamomile is as much. Passionflower, super sleepy. Valerian root, take a bunch, not too much. Sleepy. Kava will make you sleepy too. But the reason why I do not recommend Kava, for the most part, is that if you are in any sort of prescription drug, period, cholesterol, anything, there are literally hundreds of drugs and even vitamins that it does interact with. So I don't suggest it, just because unless you do your research and you feel that it is still right for you, then take it, have at it, and you will get awesome effects and results off of it. But just make sure you do your research. And like I tell you, you see the disclaimer before every video, talk to your doctor. Don't just take my advice. Yes, I speak from 20 plus years of education, experience, and schooling, everything else, but not everybody's the same. Not everybody's body reacts, handles things the exact same way. So therefore, you have to listen to your body, know your body, and trust it, and know what you need to put in, how much you can put in, and how your body handles it. It's like drinking alcohol. You got to know. You got to be able to control. And if you can't have that control, then you don't need to be putting anything in your body besides food and water anyway. That's just how it is. So Kava is a good one, but please do your research on that. Speaking of drugs interaction, prescription drugs, mind you, when it comes to valerian root, if you are on Xanax, Prozac, Ambien, Lunesta, any sort of barbiturate, any drug that is zizopine, exopine, dizopine, what is it? The Laura, I always get that one. Yeah, lorazepam, Klonopin. Do not take along with valerian root, or any other sedative contained property herb at all. But valerian root's a big one because it does have high risk interactions with it, and that's just not something that's good for your body in general. Now, if it's, I will actually talk about, because it's going to be very controversial, doctors, I know of doctors that are very pro herbs. I also know doctors that are very anti-herbs. So it really depends on the circumstance. And, and I'm not against either one. I do believe that there are certain, it's like vaccines. Won't even go there, but I have my opinions on vaccines. There are certain drugs that people do need to take. It's like conventional medicine. I really, truly believe that everybody can heal themselves, and using natural things that grow from the earth, that they can actually grow themselves. And I really believe in the absolute power for the body to heal itself. We are amazing creatures. And we have the capability of things that we haven't even seen, nor heard, nor researched, the absolute capabilities that our bodies have, not only in pieces, but as a whole. And then together, collaboratively, holy crap! Who knows what we could accomplish? But that's a whole nother ball of wax right there. So when it comes to herbs, if you are on a prescription and you can't afford it, you don't like the way it makes you feel, like I was talking about earlier, it's just not for you. I get it. I feel you. I've been there. And there are ways that you can switch. So talk to your doctor if you do work with a doctor, and also talk to an herbalist. Get you some help and some assistance, because you do have the option to not be a slave to a pill every day, which can lead to another pill a day because of the effects of that pill, so on and so on and so on. Keep that in mind. I think everybody should have the knowledge and capabilities and the accessibility to take care of themselves. We can't have healthcare that you can just go to the doctor, show up, get fixed, and get what you need, and the education you need, and be able to make the choice that you need. Then, you know what? They're not going to do it. I am. Because you should have that right. Period. So, you want to get off drugs, prescription drugs. If you're on illegal drugs, get the fuck off of them. Don't do them. Drugs are bad. Okay? Okay. Now my mind's going, oh God. She's got her head going. Holy shit. It's rant time. But, anywho. Back on subject. Tincture form, tea form, capsule form. If you do not like the taste, or you know what, if you're in a hurry and you're not into the whole liquid thing, your tinctures just kind of aren't your thing too, do capsules. They're easy. You can carry them around with you, same as a tincture, but no taste. And be sure to know where your capsules come from, because, and I've talked about this before, you have no idea. Yes, you can buy capsules from a company with a really, really good reputation. This is a whole nother video as well. List number 53, video number 64. But herbs in crushed form, in capsule form, nonetheless, are only good for about, year and a half, tops. Is pushing it. I would go with a year. So once those herbs are grinded down, if they're grinded down in too much heat, it burns off the volatile oils. If they are exposed to any sort of UV rays, if they are exposed to heat, in general, humidity, air, anything that is not cool and damp and preserving for itself, it's going to lose its potency. It's going to lose its kick. So you got to think, Joe Blow, big giant manufacturer of, Valerian root in capsuleform.com, they're not going to do it in little tiny forms, in little tiny batches. They are going to do it in massive batches, and they are going to bottle it up, capsule it up, bottle it up, and it's going to be shipped to a warehouse where I guarantee you it sits for at least a year, if not 2. So when you go to buy, it might have an expiration date of 2 years from now. So, all right, it's already bad before the expiration date is anyway. I bought it in 2015. It's 2017. Bad. Look at the color. Look at the color. You can always tell a good capsule by the color. A fresh, grounded up herb will still contain a vibrant color of some sort. You buy capsules from any other company that mass produces them, and they've been sitting in the warehouse for a long time, they're going to all be the same color. Like that dirt, tan, need rain color. No fun. Keep that in mind. No, I'm not saying that they're not going to work at all. They'll work a little bit, but not the way they should, and not as long as it should. So keep that in mind when you go to buy capsules. Number one winner, the winner of anxiety treatment is, first and foremost, man, hands down, Skullcap. It is the bomb diggity anxiety treatment herb. Skullcap is so beautiful. It actually, from far away, it really looks like lavender. It smells pretty, and you can use the whole plant. It has a very bitter taste. It's not not that appealing in tea, but you can drink it in tea. You can take it in any form, actually. Mix it with some other ones. A little stevia sweetener. It's good. But anxiety absolutely does a great job on it. It really does. Now, my preference with taking, administering Skullcap is tincture form, or actually even capsule form. Now, backing up, Skullcap on anxiety, it's very mellow. It doesn't have sedative properties. A little bit, maybe about the same as chamomile, but it's relaxing. It really is. It's a lot like Prozac. Valerian is considered nature's Valium. I would have to say that Skullcap is considered nature's Prozac. So it's not zombie making. It's not, like, all you want to do is go night-night. It's very balancing, and it does your body good. Skullcap does body good. It really does. So, and it can be mixed with other ones. There are blends. Hell, I've got the Green Eyed Owl at the time beforehand, which I'm totally bringing back, by the way. It's the tension tincture. And those of you who have ever taken that in can back it up here on any positive note. Hell, any negative note. Let me know. I want to know. But it did contain Skullcap, main ingredient, and also had valerian root in it. Had both, but the way that the mix is, in the way you administer it, really it does a lot on how the effects it does on you. So, all those things aside, whoop, skirt. Real quick, now, if you only get anxiety every once in a while, just because you have a test, you have a class, you're going for a road trip and you're kind of nervous, you're about to get married, anything where just it kind of comes up and you get a little anxiety here and there, then probably tea or a tincture is the way to go, because it's quick, it's easy, and it's not something that takes time to give you the effect and the results that you need. Now, if you are chronic anxiety, generalized anxiety, agoraphobic, OCD, PTSD, anything like that, you're going to want to look at a more solid regimen, and therefore I would actually suggest capsules, and along with, just in case oh shit purposes, a tincture as well, for those onset attacks that you can't plan for. And that happen. They really do. But tinctures, it only takes, you will see on many places that they actually measure them in drops, 45 to 60 drops. I'm sorry, it drove me crazy to ever put that on anything. Who's going to sit there and do 65? So each, when you get a tincture bottle, we'll say about, well, actually they're about the same, 1 ounce or 2 ounces, the dropper that comes inside is equal to 5 milliliters if it's full. So if you do half of that, 2.5 milliliters, it is equal to about 30 drops. So if you have to do 60 drops, you take a full dropper full. Just a little tip for you guys. But yeah, for those onset ones, and it takes about a tincture to take effect, I would say about 20, 30 minutes. Capsules, you can take a couple and feel an effect, but for it to be where you overall in general, you have high anxiety all the time, stressed out, oh my God, all the time, and you are on Prozac or you are on Xanax every day, prescription-wise, because you have to have it to be able to function at night, or not at night, but during the day, then yeah, you are going to want to look at the capsule, and you're going to have to take it at least a solid 3 days to just kind of see it give you the effect you need and the results, and a good old solid 1 week, best 2 weeks to really see a difference. It's a lot like getting on a new antidepressant. They tell you it takes about 3 weeks to see the results, but by the time you get stuck on that, then you realize it turned you into a totally different person, and then you have to get off, and then you have withdrawals, and it makes you feel like shit. So herbs, not so much like that at all. It helps train your body to get back on the right path and do what it's supposed to do naturally. And no, you don't have to be on herbs forever. So it's good. But that's my recommendations. If you guys gonna have anything to add to it, comment below. Send me a message, realtiptoechick@gmail.com. Also Facebook, TipToeChick, // Check it out. Green-eyed-owl.com is still under construction, so keep your eye out. It's gonna be a bit, but it's coming. And I love you guys. I hope this helped anybody out. If you have any specific questions, if you need some help, please feel free to email me, message me, whatever it is. You can also call the Green-Eyed Owl phone number and leave a message. Nobody answers that phone, but you can leave a voicemail. And I will post all that information below. And yeah, and trust me, I like some feedback. If you had taken any of the tinctures or capsules, for that matter, from the Green-Eyed Owl before, because I am looking to tweak a few things, and some things, no, I'm not changing at all, because if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. But I love you guys, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful February so far, and everything's going great. Keep holding on, keep on going, keep on cruising. It's gonna be a good year. I'm excited. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.